Good evening, and thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Brooke Buckner alongside meteorologist Nathan Scott, filling in for Simone Thomas tonight. Nathan, we had some storms roll through the state late last night. Are we going to get a repeat of that tonight?
Brooke, we got some ruckus out there right now. As expected, storms are moving in here from Oklahoma and Texas. Here's the newest information. We got a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 2 a.m. for pretty much southwest Arkansas, and a new watch has been issued for northwest Arkansas until 4 a.m. You can see the watches stretching all the way back into Oklahoma. Here's what's happening on the radar loop at this time. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings, but we've got quite a bit of lightning with these storms. Here's the lightning counter over the past 10 minutes, and everything that you see, that's almost 2,000 lightning strikes within the past 10 minutes. Here is the current warnings situated into Oklahoma. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. So the main concerns out there through the course of the overnight will be for the potential of a few storms to try to produce some damaging wind gusts and large hail. We got a band of some very heavy rainfall moving through Scott County, Logan County, about to approach you folks in Yell County and also Pope County. And then more storms are weakening as they make their way from Clark County and into Hot Spring County. We had a severe thunderstorm watch extending all the way through central Oklahoma. More storms could develop through the overnight. The models are not doing the best forecast with this, handling this very well. So expect that chance of showers and thunderstorms through the overnight and also into your Sunday. I'll have more on the chance of severe weather, not only for tonight, but also into the next few days coming up.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Severe weather, including deadly tornadoes, have killed at least 26 people across the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic regions. In Laurel County, Kentucky, this was the scene after a deadly tornado tore through multiple homes. In Missouri, more than 5,000 homes and businesses sustained damage and tens of thousands were left without power. The National Weather Service says there were 2 confirmed tornadoes, including at least one in St. Louis that left behind a path of destruction. Severe weather also struck in and around the nation's capital. In Fairfax County, Virginia, 1 person was killed after a tree fell on their car. Authorities in California are investigating an explosion near a fertility center that killed 1 person and wounded 5 people, and police say it could be an intentional act of violence. The explosion reportedly in a car outside American Reproductive Centers, a fertility clinic specializing in IVF. The explosion damaged several buildings and shattered windows of businesses several blocks away. Witnesses say it was so strong that it also shook the ground.
It was insane. I thought it was a massive earthquake coming off of the one we just had a couple weeks ago.
The wall had blown out. It wasn't even a door. It even looked like a door or something had been there. But it was the wall, and everything was strewn out. Even a copier machine that was in the building was clear across the street.
The clinic says no staff members were injured in the blast, and their lab, including all eggs, embryos, and reproductive materials, are secure and undamaged. Tonight, a ministry in Jefferson County is hoping to open a shelter for women in need or experiencing addiction with a goal to keep families together. Common Ground Ministries in Pine Bluff already helps men in addiction or in need, but after seeing the lack of resources, the organization decided to start looking for more solutions. THV 11's Catherine Rowley went down to the ministry to learn more.
So Common Ground Ministries here in the Sulphur Spring area in Jefferson County has been a force to be reckoned with.
The shelter at Casa Women's Shelter is limited, and because of that, Common Ground Ministries is hoping to open a program for women.
They have supported individuals in need, particularly those who have found themselves displaced, those who have suffered from substance abuse, and so there's been a great need for housing for those who have been homeless and found themselves, displaced, particularly with women.
Sheriff Wood said during COVID, that's when law enforcement really started to see an uptick in domestic violence crimes, putting pressure on the current shelters in place.
This is something I think we most definitely need, and we need it like yesterday.
The need is great.
Paul Benner-Botchin, who runs the ministry, says that the whole idea is to keep families together.
So what we want to do is we want to open it up for all the women struggling with addiction, for them not to be separated with their kids. We want the kids to be there.
And the goal for Common Ground Ministries is a simple one.
So if we can put the community together to be one whole, the churches to come alongside of these women, to help these women to be better mothers, to be better sisters, to be better daughters. And that's my main goal for that.
In Jefferson County, Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Thanks, Catherine. Common Ground Ministry has also helped feed Jefferson County employees during the budget crisis and opens its doors to the community when severe weather hits. Meanwhile, the budget continues to be a talking point in Jefferson County after Judge Gerald Robinson vetoed the plan passed by quorum court members last Friday. Now, according to the procedural ordinance, the supermajority can vote to override his veto, which would allow the county to finally have a budget. But that vote can't take place until June 9th at the next scheduled meeting, so until then, they will continue to operate off last year's budget. The legislature passed a law earlier this year to let them do that and end a government shutdown. Earlier this week, the quorum court debated another round of back pay for county workers, but that proposal also failed to pass. Tonight, President Trump is back in Washington after his Middle East trip, warning the nation's largest retailer against raising prices. The president posting, quote, "Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason." He then added the retailer and China should eat the tariffs. The post comes 2 days after Walmart CEO Doug McMillon warned on a quarterly earnings call that prices may rise amid the president's trade war with China and other nations. In a statement to CBS News, the company said, quote, "We'll keep prices as low as we can for as long as we can, given the reality of small retail margins." Trump is also urging Republicans to unite behind the so-called Big Beautiful Bill and get it over the finish line. A manhunt in New Orleans continues for inmates who escaped through a hole behind a toilet. 7 men still on the run, all considered dangerous, and officials believe they may have had help from the inside. Early Friday morning, 10 inmates broke through a cell wall by removing a toilet, and for 7 hours, nobody noticed and no deputy was on duty. The inmates wrote taunting parting messages, including, quote, "Too easy, LOL." 3 prison guards have now been suspended, and so far 3 of the inmates have been captured. Back here at home, the Coalition for a Tobacco-Free Arkansas raising awareness about its campaign. This is the 4th year in a row as the CDC says more than 80% of adult African American smokers choose a menthol product, something the coalition says needs to change.
Menthol tobacco has disproportionately harmed communities of color and helped to addict too many of our nation's children for decades. But today, we say enough.
Yesterday, the coalition encouraged everyone to wear green, and the push continues tomorrow with No Menthol Sunday. The national event is a call for faith communities to discuss the dangers associated with smoking and other tobacco products. 2 swim beaches are now shut down because of high E. coli levels. Conway Parks and Recreation says Beaver Fork Lake Park is closed to swimming, but boating or fishing is still open. We're also told the Waveland Park Swim Beach is closed. Both will undergo testing and reopen only after they pass those tests. Additional information can be found on our digital version of this story on thv11.com. During yet another busy severe weather season here in Arkansas, many of us have had to spend time in our safe places, either at home or in a community storm shelter. But not all areas have public safe rooms. I found out why that is and how some are working to change that.
There was kind of that eerie quiet just because everybody's a little on edge, a little nervous about what's going on.
That's Jacksonville Mayor Jeff Elmore describing what his wife and mother-in-law experienced while taking cover in this shelter on March 31st, 2023.
They said it was a good experience for what it was. You're there, you're with, total strangers, maybe not, some people that could be in here, but that it was very pleasant.
That's the city's goal, to provide a safe and comfortable environment at both of its public storm shelters. This one at the police department and the one at the Jacksonville Senior Center open when Pulaski County is under a tornado warning.
2 years ago, we actually, we took the hit. So there are some people who were sensitive to that, kind of traumatized by it, and rightly so. And so there will be folks that will come if there's the threat of a storm that will come out here and just wait, and just they're better safe than sorry.
Well, I'm curious about what it takes to actually operate these shelters. I mean, is it very costly to your city?
It's actually not very costly in operation because, like I said, both of these are dual purpose rooms, so they're being used anyway. And then our only expense when the shelter is open, we have a police officer at each place just to make sure that nothing's happening.
He says it's a much needed resource in his city to keep as many people as safe as possible. And it's built to withstand an EF5 tornado.
Looking at the wall this way, you can see just how wide it is. It's almost or just about a 2-foot thick wall. So it's like this all the way around, solid concrete reinforced, set up to FEMA standards to withstand that level of a tornado.
When you look at community shelters across central Arkansas, you'll notice there aren't that many in Pulaski County, the most populated county in the state. According to the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management, there are only 2 other public shelters in addition to the 2 in Jacksonville. One is at College Station Elementary School in Little Rock and the other at Cedar Heights Baptist Church in North Little Rock. However, the city doesn't operate one of its own.
It's very costly to construct a large tornado safe room to house a large community or ward. So that's one of the primary reasons that Little Rock does not have a large community-based safe room right now.
Little Rock's emergency manager, Nathan Spicer, says it's been in the works since the same EF3 tornado that ripped through Jacksonville also hit Little Rock.
After the March 31st tornado, we were allocated a certain amount of money to do specialized projects. So we applied through FEMA and through the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management to construct the safe room. So that's still in the approval process. It's not a sure thing yet, but that's something we're attempting to build here.
Spicer says the goal is to build 2 shelters that can each hold at least 200 people.
And I know the population of Little Rock over 200,000. We'll never have enough money to make a shelter for 200,000 people, but we are trying to at least do a portion of the population.
He expects it will cost millions of dollars to build them, and the city is still waiting to find out if it's getting grants, so it could be a while before construction starts.
Hopefully it's a pretty short turnaround for the application, but hopefully pretty soon we're here on that.
Elmore says that's the best first step to turn the idea into reality.
The comfort and the peace of mind that it brings, knowing that, hey, you're going to be okay because you're in here, it was worth it.
Spicer says he hopes to hear back about the federal grants in the next couple of months. Then, if approved, the city can move forward with design plans and pick a location for the storm shelters.
We will continue to see an active weather pattern here in the natural state over the next few days. Tomorrow, more showers and thunderstorms, not a washout, but keep a close eye to the sky because there is potential of strong to severe thunderstorms Sunday, later Monday, and continuing into Tuesday. I'll have everything you need to know and a live look at radar coming up.